All right, Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for December 25th through the 31st of 2017, and this video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out that link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so Taurus this week, still a lot of concentration on your 8th house, which was the recent shift last week, maybe more focused on depth and intimacy, facing fears in your life, and just all in all, through facing the things that are holding you back, whether they're internal, it's all essentially internal. Through that approach, it's very freeing and very liberating, and it's a very transformative part of the chart, helping you focus more on what truly matters most in life, even in terms of your relationships with your ruler Venus in that 8th house as well. So lots of concentration there. Monday, we do have your ruler going over Saturn in this 8th house, so likely a new chapter about what you want to take seriously in your life for the long term. In this sense, maybe the year, but maybe the next 2 years when it comes to meaning, depth, intimacy, openness, deeper connection in life. And maybe even involving shared resources as well, other people's money, debts, loans, maybe a new chapter of taking that stuff seriously. So that's the most important thing with your ruler there. Wednesday, Thursday, Mars is trining up to Neptune, giving some positive support to your relationships. Actually, it could be quite easygoing in them. Very good receptive approach. You're expressing yourself, I think, still very directly. And once we get into about Friday, Saturday, you're going to notice more of a drive towards your work and your routine, which is the area of expansion where Jupiter is, but you'll likely find a little bit more motivation there for the day-to-day. All right, so let's look at all of this in a bit more detail when we return. All right, Taurus, so here's your chart for the week. Here is your ruler Venus up here in the 8th house, also the sun in the 8th house, and where we have Saturn. So Saturn has recently shifted into this area here in December, and so it really is this new chapter about taking seriously 8th house things. Again, this is essentially more depth in life and with life, but it could be in relationships, again, vulnerability, openness there. It could be having to do with transformation, facing fears, wounds, doing that work, which is Saturn. And so now it's the part of the year where the fast movers are here, really activating this. So really good for doing any healing, very good for facing fears, taking action in the face of fears and of wounds could be very, very liberating, very transformative. So great for that. And then also, again, finding that balance with shared resources could be the theme as well. So with your ruler Venus going over Saturn, starting to, take this stuff seriously. Maybe there's this whole new chapter with you in a much more grounded sense, right? Where you're more thinking long-term, building for the future, willing to work within your limitations. And that's an excellent energy for you that I think you'll have on Monday. And really, again, for this new cycle for the year with this conjunction. So once we get into about Wednesday, Thursday, Mars trines up to Neptune, giving some easygoing energy when it comes to your relationships, your one-to-one connections. You could even find a bit of easygoingness when it comes to your career or your productive life or your public life. And then once we get to about Friday, Saturday, this shift getting into your work and routine. Now this is already expanding with Jupiter here, but now with Mars shifting into your 6th, really good to be taking action here. You probably just be feeling more motivated to do that stuff. Maybe it's diet, maybe it's regimes, time management, energy management. Maybe you're more motivated at work, knocking some things out, and that's going to be the gist for the next month. So Friday, Saturday, going into next week, I think really good for feeling that ambition and putting in that energy into the day-to-day. All right, so Taurus, one more thing I do want to mention about this week is that Mercury has recently gone direct last weekend, and this was in your 7th house of relationships. So as a backdrop to the week, I think there is a lot that you've learned about relationships these past 3 weeks, and now you're going to start to implement. So great week for implementing these insights, great week for learning about relationships, communication in relationships, the importance of that, and and just thinking a little bit more in terms of equality, mutuality, reciprocity, exchanging communication, and that kind of good stuff. All right, so Taurus, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next forecast.